Hi guys, and welcome to my diary. Let's see what I've been up to this week.
I'm feeling rather chuffed with myself. We had our awards evening at Bovians and I got a few prizes, so I'm very, very happy. It's always nice to be awarded, and I'm actually just going to put this down. And like I said last week, my love language is affirmation. So when I just get a little bit of a reward, it just, I don't know. It's just like a little bit of a pat on the back. It's like, oh, good job, Tegan. Obviously it makes you feel good about yourself. And I'm always one of those people that is always making an excuse as to why you got it, and yeah, but this, and yeah, but that, and yeah, but I don't have the fastest time on the trophy, and whatnot. At least it gives me something to aspire to. But at the same time, I think I've also got to take the time and say, okay, you know what, I did put in a lot of hard work, and it is nice to get recognized for that. So it was a really nice evening for me, and it came at a good time as well. Sometimes you doubt yourself a little bit, and it's nice just to be recognized.
So many people have come up to me and said, Tegan, are you going to do Survivor? I would love to do Survivor, but I actually have to be picked for Survivor. I really, really do want to do Survivor though. I would be perfect for it. I really would be. I am so competitive, and I'll take on the guys, I'll be friends with the girls, but that's one thing that you'd have to understand, is the people that know me would have to just understand that this is not going to be the Tegan you know in everyday life. This is going to be a Tegan that does what it needs to be done in order to win. And that's what, if you watch my vlogs and stuff, winning is everything to me. It's just, I like to win, okay? And Survivor's a game of winning, and you are allowed to backstab, you're allowed to cheat, you're allowed to lie. So I will use all of that to my advantage. And at the same time, you got to use your social game, because you don't want those people to hate you at the end. So you got to play. It's such a good game. It's physical and mental, social, everything all rolled up into one. So I just think it would be a really great game for me to play. And I know the people that know me would understand. Tegan is there to win. It's okay. This isn't the Tegan we know and love at home. But so I would love to get on, so maybe one day. So Blondie over here somehow managed to delete her recap of episode 3 of The Bachelor. So I'm going to just give you a very, very quick rundown of episode 3. But pretty much the first kiss was gone, they had a racetrack date, there was another one-on-one, and unfortunately Greta and Tamron went home this week. There was still a lot of room drama. I don't know if the room drama will continue, but hopefully not. And fashion-wise, I love Tamron's dress actually. She looks absolutely stunning in this bright yellow dress, and had like cutouts on the side, and she has this amazing figure, so she just looked amazing. Who was your favorite if you did watch? And if you didn't watch, you can still get it on catch-up, so go do yourself a favor and give it a watch. So if you missed episode 4 of The Bachelor, I highly suggest you watch it. It was very entertaining. A lot of drama, as to be expected, but all I can say is I cannot wait for the Women Tell All, where everyone gets to defend themselves, and also some of the girls can get called out on their nonsense, and so I cannot wait for that. But let's get back to episode 4. Obviously, I have to say very neutral because I'm an insider, so I'm just gonna recap what happened. But yeah, so episode 4, full of drama. So sort of starts off, Mauricia gets a date. Oh, shame, she's such a sweetheart. They go on this very romantic date, and she gets a rose, and they end up kissing. She doesn't tell the girls about the kiss. She says it's a bit of a peck, but it was definitely a lot more than a peck. But I must be honest, I would have done exactly the same thing. I wouldn't have really wanted to rub it in the girls' faces, so I also would have tried to keep it as quiet as possible. So it'll be interesting to see what they say about that when they find out. And then there was a big group date, and they went to a water park. Oh, I would have loved that date. So much fun. I love water parks, I love slides, I love anything sort of adrenaline. And yeah, it was like an interesting mix of girls. Sure. I think there was about 6 of them on the date, and yeah, there wasn't too much drama, I don't think, maybe a little bit behind the scenes and stuff, but they seemed to get along okay. And Silke ended up getting some extra one-on-one time. There was no kiss at this point, but she did get a rose. And then it's pretty much into cocktail party. There was a lot of drama sort of in between. Really go and watch it because I'm staying neutral. But yeah, so there was drama in between with the girls of the house, but there's always, like I said, there's always going to be drama. And then it was cocktail party time, and cocktail parties go, there was a lot of drama at the cocktail party. I'm not going to get into all the drama, but there was tons and tons of drama, and oof, it's getting intense. It's getting really intense in the house, and I think girls are getting on each other's nerves, and you kind of see the divides. You know, certain girls stick with certain girls. And that was definitely evident in the rose ceremony. The cocktail party. One thing that did stand out is Silka made a move on Mark, which none of the girls knew about. Oh, good for her, you go girl. But she kissed him at the cocktail party. None of the girls found out, none of the girls knew. But yeah, so she gave him, because they never kissed on their dates, so she gave him a bit of a kiss. So that was rather interesting. And then it was rose ceremony time. Shame. I always, like, my heart goes out to those girls at rose ceremony. I'm just like, oh, I know how horrible it is to stand there and just like hope your name's gonna be called. And 3 girls went home this week. Pi was one of them. Oh, she's lovely. All the girls are lovely. You know what? They really are. Each and every single one of them have something amazing to offer. So I guess it just comes down to sort of Mark finding his connections and who he's connecting with and who he's not. And excuse me. And so Pi went home, Stephanie went home, and Nola went home. And yeah, it was sad to see them leave, but unfortunately that's the name of the game. One by one, or 1, 2, 3 girls need to go home at a time. And unfortunately it was their time. And then the fashion. I thought it was amazing. These girls look amazing every single week. I'm so proud of them. They are just such beauty stars. The girl that stood out the most for me was Melissa. I love how she's so unique and she stays true to her style, and she just looked absolutely fabulous. All the girls look fabulous, but she just stood out to me this week. Who stood out to you?
Oh my goodness, I just saw the most beautiful man at the gym. Oh, he was absolutely stunning. You know, tall, dark hair, tan skin. I was coming down the gym stairs and going out to the parking, and he held the door open for me. Yes, I know, Miles. And he looks me in the eyes, and he just has this big smile, and I was like, oh my goodness. You just kind of melted my heart a little bit, and I looked like there was a hot mess. I was like, well done, Tegan.
So although I look like I've been hit by a bus, I'm going to do this video now whilst I still remember it and whilst everything is still fresh in my mind. Even though my mind is so tired right now that I'll probably stumble and not remember half of what I wanted to say. But let's talk the 3-in-1. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what the 3-in-1 is, it's a marathon in the morning, which is 42.2 Ks. Then, and that starts at 6 o'clock. Then it is a half marathon at 1 o'clock, which is 21.1 kilometers. And then at 5 o'clock, it's 10 kilometers. So all in all, it's 73.3 kilometers over the day. But what makes it so tough is those little breaks in between, because you get cold, and not like cold, but your muscles get cold, and then they get sore, and they get tight, and it just, you have to turn and run again. Especially if you run hard. Oh my goodness, it's tough. So, and this place where it is in Secunda, which is 2 hours away from where we stay. And like I said, the race started at 6. But we always drive through. And when I say we, I mean my dad and I. So my dad and I drove through at like 10 past, 3:15 in the morning, and then we drive back after the 10K in the evening. So it is an extremely, extremely long day. But I think I've done it once before, and I think it's a good comrades trainer. It just reminds you that you can do this distance, and yeah, it sort of builds a little bit of confidence and stuff, and makes you mentally tough, because that's what it comes down to. You gotta be so mentally tough. And yes, I'm so tired, I'm actually out of breath from talking. But anyways, so let's start with the first one. So it was the marathon, and the reason I actually went is I really wanted a better seating for comrades, and I knew I had a decent chance at this race if I was ever going to do it. I wasn't so sure I could do it because I'm not a fast runner. I know everyone seems to think I can run fast, but I can't. It's not really my thing. I can keep going and keep going and keep going, but running fast is hard for me. So anyways, we get there, and we actually get there with a little bit of time, so I can go enter, and we'll get into the whole entry thing just now, because this is, yeah, that's quite something. But anyway, so we go enter, and then I go and I line up, and I could start right at the front. But I mean, I literally never ever start right in the front, because I'm never early enough, or, you know, there's always people front loading, and I don't have the confidence to stand right in the front, even though I do generally do decently well, and if there was like a seating mechanism, I probably would be in the front. But I don't know, I guess I don't have the self-confidence to go and stand there. But I was right in the front, and my dad was there, and he was like, you bloody well standing right in the front. And I thought, just, if I want to run this time that I want to run, I need every little bit of an advantage I can get. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to stand here, too bad. So it was a good start. I was leading, yay, for like a kilometer. Not the whole thing, but the women's. And I also saw, because I generally know the ladies, and I know who's the tough runners, and I saw a whole heap of really, really good runners. I was like, oh well, great, I'm not going to place in this one. But they dragged me along, and I ran like my best 5K in a while, and then my best 10K, and then then the wheels fell off a little bit. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired, and it feels like I'm dying, and and I was struggling. But I was running, and I was pushing it, and I was like, okay, Tegan, just keep going, just keep going. And I tried not to look at my watch, and just keep running. And I think I was about 6th or 7th, and so I'm like, okay, cool, it's chill, just keep going. And at about halfway, I knew it was going to be a struggle to make the time I wanted, but it was doable. I knew it was doable, and I knew I just had to be strong in my mind, where I am actually generally pretty strong for running. I don't know, I've got a bit of a screw loose, so I can actually push through pain and stuff. But I knew it was going to be a really tough push. But what I said to myself is like, Tegan, if you can get your qualifying time on this one, it takes away all the pressure for the rest of the sort of training up to comrades, and I don't have to worry about any of the other races, that I can actually do it for enjoyment. Because I really don't enjoy racing like that. There's a lot of pressure, and I don't like feeling like I'm gonna die, and that's how I feel like it. I feel like I'm gonna die. Like, one guy's running next to me, he's like trying to make conversation. I was like, can we please talk afterwards? I'm tired, and I'm too tired to talk to you. And I felt terrible saying that, but it was true. I was like, I can't talk to you right now. I was like, I don't have the mental capacity to talk to you. So yeah, so I kept running, and I knew I had to keep a very good pace to make it. But I was like, no, come on, Tegan, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And I kept just pushing and pushing and pushing, and I managed to come in at the time I wanted, and I was absolutely thrilled. I was like, yes, thank goodness. And I came 5th overall. It was, you know, it was my best time in like a year. So, probably even longer than a year, probably like 2 years. So, and you know, I won a marathon last year, and I do place every now and then, but to come 5th, and it was like a decent time. It was a strong race. The women were good, and I was like, okay, cool. Number 1 race out the way. Now I can just go and enjoy the rest if I even want to do them. But now I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, well, I've put myself in a good spot to not win, but to possibly place in the whole thing. So I thought, well, let me see how I handle the 21, because my dad's going to be doing the 21 anyway, so I may as well do it. And so I finished. I had quite a bit of time between the marathon and the half marathon. So we went and we had a bit of lunch, and we relaxed, and we entered for the 21. And then at 1 o'clock, we had to go run this 21. Oh my goodness, my legs. Oh no. Because now I've pushed the marathon. When I did this before, I just kind of ran the marathon at a good pace, like a really good pace. But a pace that's more sustainable for me. Like, I feel like when I push myself, it's not really a sustainable pace, it's just me dying. And so now I'd really killed myself on the first one, but I thought, okay, well, cool. Let me go. Now my dad always puts a little bit of pressure on, and it's not my favorite. I hate it when he puts pressure on me, but he did. And he goes, oh no, just go run hard and see what you can do. So the first kilometer or 2, and the one guy, like, he literally picked me up and moved me out the way. I was like, dude, screw you, go around me. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm running, and after about 2 Ks, my legs start loosening up, and I'm there close to the front, and I ended up finishing third, which I thought was flippin' awesome. I was like, oh, I don't know how I managed that. Not a great time, but like a really good time for after a good marathon. So I was like thrilled. I was like, yes, okay, cool. And I thought to myself, okay, none of the ladies that I remember in the marathon, apart from one, ran this race. So therefore I have a very, very good chance of placing in overall the whole thing, the 3 and 1. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go and I check the results, and I see the one lady is 2.5 minutes ahead of me. So I know I've got, and 2.5 minutes to make up on a 10K is a lot. Especially when you're this exhausted. But I thought, okay, I'll give it a bash and I'll go and we'll see. So my dad doesn't do the 10K and I do the 10K. That's after waiting for prize giving and stuff, because we had to wait for prize giving. And so it was a very, very short period between the 21 and the 10. But that was okay. I went, also struggled in the beginning, but as soon as the legs got going, they got going, and I pulled myself through. I was like, Tegan, it's 10Ks, you can keep going, push. And I managed to get a decent 10K time, also taking into consideration that I've run now like 60 something kilometers already. So I finished and I'm like, okay, cool, chilled, I'm excited. I think, okay, I've definitely placed. And then I think, no, there's other girls, she's further behind me. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go to the organizers and I say, so how long till I know where I've placed in the 3 and 1? They're like, no, sorry, you can't place in the 3 and 1. You didn't enter the 3 and 1. Which I didn't. I entered the 42, the 21, and the 10 all separately. I didn't enter the 3 and 1. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, I've just like killed myself and I'm gonna get nothing for it. And so the guy pops up, and now I'm tired, I'm absolutely exhausted. And the guy pops up and he says to me, oh no, well, it's good comrades training. I nearly burst into tears. Honestly, I was trying to fight my tears back. I was like, so I just walked away. I was like, oh, this really sucks. And it's completely my fault. I mean, I should have entered the 3 and 1, but I wanted to see how the day went. And the last time I did this race, you could do that. So I just kind of took it for granted. And I was like, okay, cool, it'll be absolutely fine. And it wasn't. And so now I'm standing here and I'm heartbroken because I worked really hard, and I wouldn't have, if I'd known, I think we probably would have gone home after the 42. And so yeah, it was good training and whatnot, but I got nothing for it. And yeah, and I know I did well, but yeah, so that kind of really sucked. And then we had a nice 2-hour drive home after that. So it was a long, rough day. Hopefully I've learned my lesson. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad it went the way it went. I just kind of wish I'd entered the 3 and 1. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.